Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel, and welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations on positive change, growth, relationships, value of actions and positive changes, ways to get where we want to be in the quickest and simplest way possible. And I'd love to work with you, looking to fill up clients in 2021, have some discounts available. We're trying to reach some goals and help as many people as possible. So if you're looking for ways to kind of harness your ability to make progress, which is the topic of this particular audio, please reach out on Twitter at PO Perception, and or at the end of the day, you can also use the YouTube link, the About Me section of this here YouTube page. In there is my website. Go there, find out more information, and would love to set up an opportunity to talk and see if I can be of benefit to you. Now, what are some ways you can key in on making progress consistently? We're going to talk about maybe about half a dozen of those, 8 of those, between 6 to 8. The first is try it now. You can come up with 10,000 reasons why you can do it tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, when you get a little thinner, when you get a little more meat on your bones, when you feel a little better, when you feel more confident, when you have more money, when you have more time, there are a million reasons to talk yourself out of something. Now, unless there's physical danger coming to you if you do a certain activity, then you need to get it done. The thing is, you will talk yourself out of more progress than you'll ever make, because if you haven't done something to this point, you have a reason why, and oftentimes we cling to our reasons not to change so as not to confront failure. If you are not ready to face failure and recover and be resilient, then honestly, you need to go deeper within yourself and say, why am I okay with being mediocre? Why am I okay with just having a just get by mentality? The next is understand understand your passion, and work with it every day. Now, that doesn't mean if your passion is video games that you spend 80 hours a week playing Halo. But at the same time, if video games or music or certain TV shows or writing, drawing, whatever it is a part of what keeps you creative, healthy, and happy, if that's where your passion lies, build it in for at least 15 to 30 minutes a day on purpose, so that you have time for the things that keep you motivated, so that you have times for the things that keep you lit up. And what I think most people do is they get so deep in the weeds of trying to accomplish that they forget that discipline for joyful activity is necessary in order to break the monotony of when you feel like you're not making any progress. It's essential to have outlets that are going to light you up again when things aren't going the way you intended them to. So the more you're willing to do that for yourself as an investment in your future, in your goals, in your dreams, your aspirations, the things you want to change relationally, personally, professionally, whatever, financially, whatever it is, the easier you're going to make it on yourself. Persevere. If you have a goal, no matter how big, how large, do something towards your goal every day. Just like you have to give time to your passion, give time to your perseverance. There are reasons you will talk yourself out of, I can do it tomorrow. There are reasons you can talk yourself out of, well, somebody's in town. But even if you don't stick to your schedule, give yourself part of the time that you promised to give to that activity on a regular basis, so that it becomes pattern and habit to work towards your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. It doesn't matter how small you're working towards it, because here's the thing. The more progress you see towards your goal, the more committed you're going to be to your goal. And the more committed you are, the more easier it's going to be to put the time in, the hours, the days, the months, the years. If you don't start with something that's manageable, though, you'll quit before you ever get anywhere. The next is embrace your haters. Now, I know that sounds really weird, but here's the thing. You can learn just as much from your tribe and the people that love you as you can from the people that think you're horrible, because they may have valid points even though they're spitting venom. Maybe you need to, be more diverse in what you're talking about. Maybe you do need to lose 10 pounds. Maybe you do need to, and I'm not talking about fat shaming. There's a difference between bullying, which is useless, and constructive criticism. But at the same time, haters are gonna bully. But can I take what the bully says and gain something from it? If a bully says, "Gee, you're ugly, but you look better in blue," then maybe I buy a blue shirt. And it's not for them. It's just because maybe they're right. I don't have to agree with the way they brought me the information to get value from the information itself. So the next is interrupt negative patterns. Know what your triggers are that set you backwards. In other words, if you talk with a certain family member, do you get off track for the rest of the day? If you go for a walk with your dog, do you get too tired to do something mental? If you stop to help your kid with their homework in the middle of a business idea, do you lose all focus? Now, I'm not saying neglect the people that care for you or the animals that you've chosen to provide for, but work around the things that take you off track. Schedule your time to where you can completely focus if you're easily interrupted. And if negative thinking is part of the pathway you need to interrupt, have ideas and concepts of what you can say to yourself in your own internal talk that will cut off the pathway of you going down a negative road unnecessarily or for too long. The next is be willing to go back to the drawing board. Look, I have run literally, probably in one form or another, at least 4 to 5 businesses over the last 14 plus years. Actually, if I look at it from the first time I ever got in any business, including partnerships, we're looking at closer to 25 years. I was a teenager during my first, co-business venture. But go back to the drawing board. If something doesn't work, don't quit. If something doesn't work, maybe you need to save for a few months. I have some projects. I was going to roll out, for example, I was going to roll out a merchandise line, and I had all these ideas, and I had half a dozen designs, and I have the samples made. But right now, there's places of expansion where my money needs to go. That getting those items out is a lower priority than other things I'm trying to accomplish that are going to free up capital to do it. It doesn't mean I'm never going to do it. It means the way I'm going to get there in that portion of things is different than I thought, and I had to go back to the drawing board and adjust for things that I didn't see coming. And that is the last point I want to make in this particular audio. Prepare for the unknown or the unseen. When you have a worst case scenario preparation plan, when you have if everything fell out, if, perfect example, there was an earthquake in Japan overnight, today, yesterday, depending on where you are in the world, and I have a friend who was performing during the earthquake, and they had an earthquake preparedness plan. Now, did they expect that there was going to be an earthquake in that moment? No, but because they had a plan for that unforeseen circumstance of natural disaster, less people were injured, less people were hurt, people were as calm as they could be in a situation like that. So, if you have plans for natural disasters, plans if your partner leaves, plans if you lose your job. One of the reasons the pandemic has been so damaging to people is they didn't have a plan B or a plan C. And I know it's hard, especially when money isn't where you need it to be, but if I lost my job, if I ended up homeless, if I ended up sick, what would I do? These are things that you have to have a sketchwork plan for, because otherwise they can devastate you and take you out of your life completely. Now, are you going to know every step? Certainly not, but having some framework of a plan for unforeseen, uncomfortable circumstances. And the other way, for opportunities you didn't see coming, is essential to success. So hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.